Go for it.
All right. All right. So you want me to hit play here?
I want you to tell me what the matchup is first.
All right. It's was it Ash Trundle versus Kaiso Lulu.
Right.
I've already talked to a few people about this game, like specifically our mid laner. He gives me a lot of input on bot lane,
Okay.
and he
What did
but
you get from it?
he said, and it makes a lot of sense. Like in hindsight, level one, we need to be a bit more dominant. Like that's his biggest takeaway. In this matchup, we were playing was a range melee against double range.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And we're playing a very lane dominant range melee or range matchup in the Ash versus Kaisa.
Right.
I shouldn't allow him to reach level 2. Not for free.
How good were you guys at abusing their cooldowns?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And who was their jungler?
Nuno.
Nunu. How does that
Yeah.
factor
Yeah.
into your ability to play aggressive for level one?
It's hard to all in them with a new who could possibly just come
Heavily.
down level 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you had that in hindsight, one of the things that you guys can do is ward against, and that allows you, you know the kind of curved wall right behind Drake.
Mm.
If you do
Yeah.
that right after at around like the 110 mark before you guys go leash, then you can see if he's coming down for level 2 or he's just going to go for a standard Krugs into top. That kind of idea.
Mm.
And then that enables you to play aggressive for the level 2. Do you see that kind of how that factors in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would
Um,
I would say that if he's going from red Krugs, then he could just gank through bottom part of Tribush if we push up enough. But by that point, I feel like we should just have like solo or at least 2v2'd already.
if their jungler spends time bot lane to invest in that, what should that
Mm-hmm.
be a signal to your team? Or what should you tell your jungler?
Probably just gank top and see if we can save bot lane and not throw 8 kills or something and just waste Nuna's time.
Either gank top or invade his jungle. So if he wastes time bot, that should be a signal for your jungler to invade his top side because that enables him to be
Right.
much more higher in XP. And I'd say a Kane with a higher level is much more valuable than a Nunu with a higher level.
Agreed.
So that's the
Agreed.
kind of thought process that I want you guys to start having if any jungler cheeses you level 2 because it ruins their tempo completely to every single play, to every
Mm,
single rotation. Does that make
right.
sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. Let's keep going then.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
show me when you guys get into lane. I'm sure you guys know how
mm,
to 5 point correctly. At least I'm hoping so.
yeah, yeah. So like another issue too is we don't leash most of our games. Like 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna leash in our clash games.
Okay, why is that?
Um, and just our jungler plays his red side into or not his top side into or excuse me bottom side jungle. Usually looking for a level 3 gank.
Hmm.
We usually play I actually we've been playing around Jin, Varus, and Ash, who are again being lane dominant or at least really good at getting picks early.
Right.
And yeah, he usually plays something that either wants to farm early or wants to at least get early gank and get tempo to run the game over.
Okay.
So um oh my frame rate's pretty low. So Kaiser shows here and we walk in the
Mm.
lane at a minute 40.
Took a bad trade there.
So I've often emphasized the importance of level 2 priority to Karl. um,
Mm.
Yeah.
I want you to zoom back to the first time where the waves clashed, just a little bit earlier. So Karl, do you remember how we talked about how you can influence the enemies to lose 1 minion's worth of XP if you guys get to lane
Yeah.
first? Yeah.
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 I want you guys to be doing that, or if you guys are taking it the other way, you guys can hit the minions first so the crash is closer to their turret for the second wave, but you guys will be hitting level 2 faster than them.
Yeah.
So those were the two openings that I think you guys should have considered and then acted upon that.
Yeah.
Moss, do you follow the two things that I was telling there?
I was just interrupted. So yeah, looking for level 1 priority. So I didn't catch the second part, but was again the single minion advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know how to
I
A,
will.
pull the wave, or second, make sure the minions hit your single minions more?
I'm familiar with the concept, though I don't think I can execute it every single time.
Okay, don't worry. I will plop that down and we'll go into practice till after that. No worries. Keep going.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so here, ideally, you guys would be autoing the backline creeps first, and then that gives you much more time and breathing space to position for Karl to be within bush for prio.
All right.
I think you started E first as well, didn't you, Karl?
Yeah, I start E just because I thought that I could. Yeah, I thought I could close the gap onto Kaisa and get my Hail of Blades trade off before she got too much damage off on me. So that was my
Brilliant.
thinking going into it. However, that's not how it panned out because the Lulu shielded and I didn't get any damage off.
Yeah. So if anything, isn't as Trundle support auto Q auto better?
Against a range matchup, no. Against a melee, yes.
Ah, okay. I don't play a lot of Trundle sup, so this is pretty new to
Good.
me too.
It's about to be garbage next patch, so I'm dropping it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've seen people go like Imperial Mandate to make it better, but at that point, like, why play it?
Yeah. Because his pillar constantly applies Imperial Mandate, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's a permanent slowing, and it doesn't. It goes through Black Shield, which is why it's good into like Sivir lanes and those people with Spell Shield.
Oh, okay. So level 1, do you know how long Lulu's E is? Both of you.
It's like 4 seconds.
Oh, that's way too quick.
Oh wait,
Yeah, that's definitely not 3-4 seconds.
No, it's
It has to be like 13, right?
something ridiculously long like that. So you guys should use that as an opportunity to
oh,
trade
I thought you
effectively.
meant how long the shield lasted. That's my bad.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Nice. We got a
So
first gank.
here,
Yep.
there's gonna be a big blunder that kind of threw off my momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually talked to my jungler about this a lot. Ideally, I want him to either stay and push because he wants to invade here.
Yep.
And I've tried to get him under the mentality of, gank and look for a play after.
Yep.
But usually, I would want him to push here, or he doesn't touch the wave and doesn't invade.
Yeah. How many stacks do I have on Relic
But
Shield or on
the
stuff
problem
like?
here is he goes to invade early, and I definitely blundered. I kind of.
I also could have been hitting the wave more though. It's definitely a troll on my part.
Yeah, because right now he's fighting Kaisa, and I didn't know this was happening until way too late. I go in, take tower aggro, flash heal. He pulls out, and yeah,
I think I pick up the kill here, but it's on fucking Trundle. No. I
yeah,
run out of mana. That's so sad.
All
he
right.
still die though.
After you guys get any sort of kill, you often want to reset with your gold. So your jungler ideally should stay to help you shove in the lane.
Yeah,
After, if you guys are still healthy or able to make any plays, then it's a good idea. He should never invade when the two lanes closer to him do not have prio. because
Yeah.
a scenario like that occurs basically, where the enemy can react first,
Yeah.
and you end up blowing your 2 combat spells. So
Yeah.
I'd say to him as a jungler right there, I'd be happy with getting first blood. You got some extra gold. You already got extra tempo on the jungler as well, because you're going to be up in
Mhm.
CS as well. So take that advantage and use that to play for bot lane again, because Lulu has no flash for next rotation.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Right.
Something else I
Yeah.
need to get better at is like just writing down summoner spell timers. That's something I should be doing more. Like at
Yes,
all times,
please.
it's like my job. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely am very conscious of summoner spell timers.
Yeah,
At
but
least to a certain extent. Like,
yeah, but I should still be writing them down for the rest of the team. It's not just for the other,
just,
because top could also
yeah.
make a team play.
Cool.
So, uh, from here, the lane gets significantly worse. I think it's on me, and I'm not too familiar with Kaisalu. In fact, I don't like the lane at all. But that's just a personal gripe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did need to recognize that this lane does outscale us to a certain point, which is what I was saying before with the level 1, like having to take advantage of that and getting a certain gold lead
Right.
Mm-hmm.
to keep the lane even. But I think equal in gold, I think she's stronger than Ash
In her
Trundle.
trading ability, yes, when Lulu's abilities are up, but once they're down, you play
Yeah.
around the cooldown, and
Oh,
that's your mode to spread.
yeah, of course, of course. Like if she trolls and burns
Mm-hmm.
abilities, yeah. I still outrange her, which is a big deal. So
Yeah.
I could force her abilities to go down.
Yeah. So it's kind of troll for her to stay here.
Yeah.
But Karl isn't with you yet.
Yeah, I had to reset with my gold.
Yep. And considering you blew both your combats,
I'm definitely playing a bit forward.
yeah. Okay, so you see her recall here.
Yeah.
Pause it for me right here.
Oh, yep.
In terms of so tell me what your plan is in relation to your jungler and the wave that's going to be joining your one in about like 30 seconds.
Ideally, I hold this freeze, deny as much as I can, allow my jungler to not only clear his cramps, but by the time he gets to, I'd say about wolves and a half, so in between here, they should be showing up to lane. I actually don't know how fast King clears, just going off intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Either we look for the gank at this point, or and hopefully I maintain this freeze. This freeze should be permanent to an extent. Hopefully we can make the decision to look for a gank after he does his gromp or before he does his gromp even.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah, so
especially with Lulu Flash being down. I don't remember if Kaisa blue sums or not
mm-hmm.
at this time.
One thing for either of you two to communicate to your jungler is that if he has the opportunity to skip one of his skip one of his camps to create a gank opportunity, since you guys have a very good setup with your permanent slows on a flashless target, that should be communicated to your jungler based off of your wave. So if you say to your jungler, hey, I'm going to hold a freeze here, so you have a gank window of around a minute, then he's going to prioritize wolves into bot side, make a gank, and then you go date Drake, he goes for a gromp, and then goes and refreshes his top side.
Yeah. Something too I've mentioned to my jungler is that whenever he enters his bot side, or whenever he enters any part of his jungle, I wanted to call out like that he's doing so. So if he ever walks into his red side jungle, I wanted to be clear that, hey, look, I'm in red side.
Right.
Or whenever he enters his bottom side jungle, I'm bot side jungle right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so like I have audio cues to say, hey, look, we can look for a gank here, or I'm strong, we can play for this.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds great. And
Yep.
for Karl, what are you warding right now?
I'm trying to get some semblance of vision on Dragon, see if they're doing it. Therefore, we can try and go for other gank opportunities or steal camps.
I want you to also be thinking of the potential gank from Nunu.
On bot line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. I agree with that.
Cool. Keep going.
Okay.
I want you to keep an eye out on Kane, by the way, and
Yeah.
look at his
Oh,
pathing. Is there audio for this, by the way? Are you guys
there is audio. It'll have my audio is a bit overbearing, or not overbearing. It definitely is my audio a little bit more than everyone else's.
okay? No, yeah, don't worry about it then. It's fine.
So it's a bit jarring too, the silence.
Yeah,
So my
it's
junglers
all
on
good.
bot side, we started looking to balance out the waiver quite a bit, but
Yeah. So you see how this would
in
have
this
been a
case, yeah,
perfect opportunity to get a gank. You land a
yeah,
W
and then
pillar.
yeah, and I actually, you know what? You're absolutely right. I should have called for the gank. I don't think it was called for.
Oh, good. You'll see the scenario, or Karl see the scenario, in the future, and you're like, okay, this is what we have to do. And notice how you needed to be able to see that almost a minute before it happens, because if your jungler if your jungler ruins his tempo to come gank, he wants to ensure that he's compensated for that, basically. And there you guys could have gotten the Drake objective as well. So
Yeah, Nuno was just on his red. We could have definitely taken Drake by the time he had gotten the bot lane.
yeah. I'm not seeing any pings from you, Karl. Nooney's on the map.
Yeah, you're right. I should be paying more.
Yeah. Does that pillar hold the wave a bit longer?
Yeah, a little bit longer. It
Uh,
slows minions.
Interesting. Good. Considering you have two words moss, one of the
Yeah.
things I can't see how many
Oh, sorry.
things Karl has, but if you provided a TP flank for your top laner, although it doesn't look like he actually has TP, but make it a habit to ward in the furthest bottom brush, if you can, to provide a good TP flank for your top laner.
If anything, we run double TP in most of our games.
Okay,
So
yeah, great.
yeah, I definitely will make that a habit. I was talking to actually my mid laner about it earlier. He said my warding habit's actually really bad. So
There. I love banging on
and I
about
agree.
warding.
Like yeah, no, I mean, look, it's the most important tool in the game.
Yeah,
Information's huge.
the same. Karl knows it well. He knows where to ward. All the best spots.
True.
So I'm one man. Our jungler's bot side.
Yeah. So
One thing I
looking.
know that something I'm bad at is managing my resources before getting our jungler gets bot lane. Because sometimes like there's an opportunity for a gank and I'm just out of mana.
Yeah.
Possibly something we should be paying attention to.
Is that because you're trading a lot, or have you actually seen
Uh,
why?
Not on Trundle, but I know on a lot of the enchanters I play, I definitely don't manage my resources well.
Right.
Flasher.
Oh.
I remember this trade specifically and just how annoyed I was.
Wait, where's
Yeah.
Kane? What did Kane take?
Yeah. But like it's something we talked about too afterwards. It's just like,
Right.
yeah, it was not good.
Let's rewind a bit to the start of it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Kane's coming
Yeah.
through river.
Okay.
So at this point, how much mana? I had enough for ult. I don't know if we want to do this gank or not. I don't remember the mentality at the time, like even hearing it.
Yeah.
However, I burned my W here. I'm trying to full clear the wave. I'm probably looking for a back timer over anything else.
Yeah.
And they take advantage of me for earning W. Or, I don't know if they do it intentionally, but
Bro, where's clarity when
I
you need it?
walked in. I shouldn't have walked in there.
No. Yeah.
If I was able to pillar.
I
Yeah,
think you've already
Kane.
pointed out the majority of the things that could have gone better there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, like even unforced errors, like it just felt bad for that
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, like talking to our team. There's one more exchange that happens bot lane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms of like yeah, like major exchanges, it's at 13 minutes, and that's how we lost our game, which felt not like really lost our game, but yeah, from there it was just snowball downwards.
Right.
It just yeah.
So maybe this would be a
So
good game to show the both of you how to stabilize against a losing lane, basically.
yeah,
And kind of seeing the decisions you guys make.
I'm watching
So
somebody's
yeah,
stream on Discord.
Karl, tell me about how you're gonna fix this wave, because it looks pretty doomed for you guys.
Yeah, you want to shove it all the way so that it bounces back to us. So I
Yes.
should just get into lane and just
Oh,
start hitting.
Yep. Except, oh, you're six. This is actually win angle. Smack him and
I
smack
think I
that
get a
one too.
double kill here.
Yes, because they expended all their ults, so this is all you. Oh,
No, I don't. Never mind. Show the P. Uh,
unfortunate.
True.
it sucks that I die there, but again, like Karl does come out with almost 2 kills. It honestly, I don't regret that play, but I do kind of.
I try to
Well,
shove the wave so
if
it
you look
bounces.
at it in terms of XP that they've lost, it's a lot more. It's a lot more worth for you guys
Why does he have
Right.
E
to
there?
even trade 1-for-1. Because if you're in a scenario where you guys are behind in gold and you trade even with the enemy, it can allow you to basically balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So same thing here. As you're moving back, make it a habit toward the two brushes. Or do you know the spot where you can stand right next to the left side of that wall and ward the far brush without walking into it?
I'm familiar with it.
Okay. Make that a habit as well.
All right.
Considering you have a control board, I'd also put it in the bush to your left to make sure you're not getting dove.
Yeah. Um, though I mean, it doesn't make sense for me not to put it down, obviously, but we do have the information topside. Yep. So I knew in that scenario I was relatively safe because of the play that happened recently. Also with Yon being on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, yeah, I do try to get that word down. I will try to do that faster, or at least be more conscious of it.
Yep.
I also
Yeah. So
find that
there's a fight.
sorry, I don't. No, you continue, Moss. I'll come.
Oh yeah, there's a fight that's about to happen here around Dragon. And that's yeah.
Mm,
So it's that
I,
13-minute mark I was talking about.
yeah.
No, I'm gonna.
Well, considering how many drakes do you guys have a piece?
I believe they got first Drake,
Yeah.
and I remember saying this something. So like just mentioning to my team like we shouldn't just like unknowingly give up Drake. Like it's fine to give up a dragon. I think like every dragon fight's not worth all the time, especially with how our team scales.
Yeah.
I don't know like if it's good for us this game or not, but I don't like to give up dragon and not know anything about it. So this time game, I specifically remember them getting first Drake,
Have you guys
and
heard of
this would
the
be second dragon.
Yeah, have you guys
Hmm?
heard of the concept of doing cross map plays?
I'm familiar.
So if they're going for one side of the map to make a play, then you guys naturally tend towards the other side where they're not making a play.
Right.
So if you guys have made the call to give up this Drake by not fighting because they're ahead, then your jungler should be looking topside to either invade, dive top, or make a play around topside. So where does that leave you two? Or what do you guys have to do basically?
Ward up against
Well,
a dive.
Yes, exactly.
yeah. Yeah, in this scenario, ideally we insta kill this wave as best as we can.
Yeah.
But it's somewhat risky because Nunu's right there. I don't know if Karl has sums right now at this time. But ideally, yeah, get me out this lane.
Yeah.
Get me into a safer position.
As long as you guys don't die and the call
Yeah.
is to make a play around top, then you guys basically postpone the inevitable. And with Karl's disengaging pillar and your ult, there's no way you guys should be able to be caught even with Nunu rolling a snowball down. So I'll be very surprised if you guys die here.
Though I do think the fight here is possible, not with the way it's set up though.
No one has
Actually, I
ults
think
on
a
your
fight
team.
here is good. Yeah, that's also very true. Kane, yeah, like Kane's ult being up, almost up, is actually very tragic. So, if you don't mind, I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Um, this whole fight felt really bad. I feel like if anything connected ability wise, I think we win it, like hands down. Like this fight went as poorly as possible.
Don't get him too excited, Moss. God dang. Ooh. So many airborns.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kano just you want to call down. That's how close it was. He was spamming R the entire time. I believe our Silas missed every single E, unfortunately, leading up to that moment. I ult and hit Nunu, which I think is arguably, not even arguably, the worst target I could hit in that situation. like I said, I think it's a winning fight. Honestly, it's a pretty good, like strong angle for us. If anything went well.
Yeah, I definitely took the wrong path to that fight because I went around the wall instead of through our try.
Yeah.
And from that point on, the game just snowballs like away from us.
Yeah.
And like we have to hope they like choke the game away.
Right.
Which is my least favorite way of playing.
I can agree with the sentiment that yeah, that fight looked winnable. However, since the objective was already taken and there was not anything there to be gained even if you win the fight, realistically, is there anything to gain?
No. Okay. So, like, even looking at the map, I didn't want to take this fight. Like, I'm not in
Right.
position for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you like watch how our jungler is pathing,
Yeah.
we're still like we're posturing for it. They take Dragon. I think he's caught out between the two like entrances into our jungle. And he does an ability. He does damage and he thinks he's safe, but he forgets that how Kane works.
It sounds to
It's not that
me.
he forgets. It's a blunder. He messed up his E.
Yeah.
He was stuck here.
It sounds to me you guys need a team central shot caller, someone to say, "Hey, we're giving up this Drake, so let's make a play topside."
Yeah.
Is there anyone on the team to fulfill that right now? Karl?
Typically, it'd be our mid laner.
Are you doing the shot calling in this team?
I'd say I do a little bit, but I definitely need to work on speaking up.
Most of our team's strength comes from our mid laner and me in terms of damage, and he's probably like one of the smartest people I've ever played with. So, typically, like I hear his voice before anybody else's, and
Right.
I actually, Karl, no offense to you, man, I sometimes just don't hear you at all. Not
Yeah.
that like I don't hear you as in you're talking and I don't hear you. It's more like I just don't hear you at all.
Yeah, I got you.
So,
That's okay.
though I believe it's been mentioned that like we want to avoid having a well, I think there should be somebody like I think the mentality in our team is that we want to avoid having a centric shot caller, more so have everybody shot call. But I do think it'd be beneficial for us to have the one voice that says no. I think we all should have been saying no here.
Everyone should
Or
be
like it's
responsible for their own decisions, but to have a
right.
shot caller to basically direct everyone
Yeah.
has usually it's proven to be the best kind of thing for a team case, like a team scenario. Um, yeah, but if you guys have tried without a shot caller, I think give it a shot and see if it actually helps out with the team dynamic a bit, and see if you guys can make better choices.
All right. Yeah, I agree though. It's having a shot caller, by the way. It's just
Yeah.
I'll mention I'll talk to our mid laner about it and see how he feels.
Yeah, sure.
Like between some like me and him, because there's fight, especially with him, because I think our power spikes come from him. Like I said, I've been playing around Jin, Ashe, and Varus, so my power spikes are relatively cheap. They're cheap and they're not as like game influential. It's
Yeah.
more so I have my abilities to sway the game.
All right.
And if I'm strong, then I need to call it that I'm strong. But more or less, he'll play something like Seraphine, and we'll take fights at Dragon early. And he's made it very clear to us, if he's playing Seraphine mid, we don't want to fight early. In fact, first two dragons should be theirs.
Pretty
And if
much.
they don't take those dragons, cool, they're stalling out the game for us, and we should win.
Pretty much
And
so.
we've taken fights early, and we snowballed the game. In fact, after this game, I guess we can go to a game where I felt pretty bad bot lane.
All right.
But yeah.
No worries.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's keep going then.
All right. So yeah, this fight, he gets caught. Yeah, this happens.
Though to be fair, I don't think there's a lot to glean out of this game.
I kite inwards towards my team. I feel like that's a huge mistake,
Yep.
especially after they flashed onto me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, you said after this game it's just a bit of like slow bleeding out, is that right?
Yeah. It's not even
pretty
slow.
bad, yeah.
It's pretty quick.
Okay. If you have another VOD recorded, let's move on to that then.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do save all my Clash games, so it's this game specifically. I remember. Oh, yeah, the team comp here.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah, this is
Ash,
actually the game I was talking about. Oh, it's
Ezreal,
near Estrandel.
Ezreal Swain or Ezreal? Yeah, Ezreal Swain. Okay.
There's Swain.
Cool, same thing. Karl, your turn. Give me a matchup analysis.
Against Swain, Ezreal, we're definitely stronger level 1. So maybe maybe in this case, if we had known how to pull a wave, I know that we're going over that in practice till we pull the wave, and then we just try and pressure them off the wave until we hit level 2, and then hard engage.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my game plan.
Do you agree with that, Moss?
Hard engaging? No. I don't think our lane is very engage centric, but I don't think they can run away from us. And I think that's where I think like short to long trades or any extended trade we win. I think, and like actually just talking to people about it, Ezreal level 1 is actually garbage. Like Conqueror is not a strong summoner spell. I have Lethal Tempo, which is definitely it's just immediate value. And Ezreal passive versus Ashe passive, Ezreal passive doesn't do anything until it's stacked up.
Yeah.
And even Q, like if his Q misses, he just there's nothing. There's like a 4 second window in which he can't do any ability, and that's most of his damage. So I think honestly the best way to play this is to pull the wave and deny level 1 or deny level 2, excuse me.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Now, was that communicated
Also,
between the two of you?
I think we had some
no.
semblance of no. Did we not have any semblance of that? I feel like we had like at least something where we knew we were stronger earlier than them.
That's actually talking to our mid laner too, like and like about comms. That's actually his biggest issue with us is we don't communicate that.
Right. So maybe it's time to change that.
I kind of feel like on our team, and I guess this is more of a like psychology problem. Like the voices are a bit strong coming from everybody else. Like they just talk so much. And it's hard to get a word in edgewise. Like I feel like I shouldn't hear my top laner most of the game. Sometimes I feel like he talks the most on the team.
Right.
Yeah,
But
Shay
that's more
is
of a
a
personal
little
gripe than anything
overpowered.
else.
Fair.
You know.
Yeah.
If you want, I'm sure that you'll be able to find some laps in the silence. Maybe even in champ select, not in the loading screen or anything.
Yeah.
Where you can say Karl or Moss, these are how we're gonna play. Yada
Yeah.
yada. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And just go from there.
So yeah, yeah, this is just me. Like that's my issue. I need to get over it. Um, Going further, even looking at the junglers, Sejuani really gang centric versus invading, and we have Jin Zhao. Ideally, we have a better tempo, or if we can maintain better tempo, I think we just roll over this game.
Tell me what you mean by the
And
word
even
tempo. What do you actually understand by
tempo.
it?
So okay, and well, I guess I might have been using tempo incorrectly there, but I feel like Sejuani is going to outscale, or not Sejuani. Jin Zhao is one of the better scaling junglers right now, or at least at the time. Yeah, yeah, even right now. And one of the better duelists in the game too. I think that Sejuani does not outduel Jin Zhao. Though that's just strictly the 1v1 matchup. I don't think that should be happening too much. However, I think he has priority over, or if he can gain priority over most situations, I feel like we have a winning fight. Though, in terms of priority mid lane, I don't think we have that with Yon versus Seraphine. I mentioned it before, like Seraphine's pretty weak pre-11. Not pre-11. Was it like at least before the 13-minute mark? I don't remember what is hit there. But
Okay.
like around second dragon, Seraphine starts to see her power spike. Um
Karl, do
yeah,
you have
like
anything
in
to
term
add to that?
I agree with Moss. Seraphine doesn't have a lot of early pressure around early game, but like mid late, she like kind of like just steamrolls their team in a team fight. And just for picks in general, Urgot is very good. Not he's mediocre early, and then just scales pretty well. Not amazingly, but pretty well. And then yeah, our comp scales best through the top side of the map instead of bot because Ash scales okay. Trundle doesn't really scale. So
I think what I'm trying to get at is if your mid and jungle 2v2 has really good prio against theirs, that's what I'm referring to. If you can carry out the early game pressure and transition that into a lead. And that's what you guys should think of when you're drafting for team comps as well. Because if you match Sinjao with, I don't know, someone else on your mid laner's trample who's aggressive like LeBlanc or Syndra, someone who can like really provide the damage required to follow up with Sinjao, then naturally you guys are going to be getting the lane priorities a lot better. And that's what's gonna be helping you choose what you do with the wave.
so do you think that we have a mismatch in our mid and jungle synergy?
That's what it looks like to me right here. Yeah.
Okay. Um okay. Yeah, all right. So can you elaborate on that just a bit more, please?
In
Like I guess it's the more so like our jungle priorities, like Jin Zhao is gonna or stronger earlier than Seraphine is.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Never mind.
So you should always just think
If
about
that's
the
what it
two
is.
v two. Yeah, the 2v2 in the mid jungle versus their mid and jungle.
Right.
Think about it this way: if your jungler is going to be starting top side and clearing towards bot, and he's going to be at your bot side scuttle at around 315, that's going to maybe affect you preparing your way for them to gank you. Versus if he was starting from bot to top, then it'd be the reverse scenario around that side.
Oh, just to clarify too, in this game specifically, we weren't preparing to play Seraphine. In fact, it was probably fifth and or sixth in slot. And I say it's sixth in slot because they also threw 5 mid lane bans out,
Uh,
all targeting my mid laners champion pool. So
wow, that's
yeah,
that's tragic.
yeah, like it was actually it was fifth in slot. They banned the sixth in slot. So
Which was the game
I
where Shay
believe
just refused to pick? Was that this game?
yeah. Oh, also in this game too, I believe in champion. No, it was the last game, the one we just watched. Never
Okay.
mind. We
Yeah.
chose the big trundle here because of Sedge. So ideally, our pick ban order too. We want to pick our AD, jungler, and top lane within the first half. Give a counter pick for our. I save our counter picks for, well, what's it, Seraphine and Trundle. I mean, just going into it blindly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they show their support, we can always pick our support earlier, or
Right.
like vice versa. So we chose the Ashe Trundle versus, what was it, Ezreal Swain.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's get into the game then.
Okay.
If you just skip ahead to the 5 point,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
5 minutes. Oh, Lane. I like I said before, just to go over it. I do think we should have punished laning phase, or at least tried to play laning phase a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Like I think it's the same problem as last time where we just walked into lane and allowed them to hit level 2, and we pretty much handshook level 2.
It just looks a bit like you guys are a bit timid when you guys have the clear advantage of him.
Yeah, something too, like an issue is that me and Karl don't have enough reps together. We don't have enough playtime.
Right.
And if it's just like conflict of schedule, I'd like to play with him more, but
I mean, this is a level 2 angle right here, isn't it? That last minion and
yeah.
go.
Well, yeah.
I think it would be level 2 if I didn't blow my abilities level 1
Yeah.
by was trolling him. So that's on me.
So you said you want to go to the 5 minute mark, or
No,
I know our
This
jungler's
is
entering bots.
yeah. This is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So jungler is clearing from top to bot, which is actually pretty
I think
interesting.
What are you saying, Moss?
nothing. The miscommunication there.
Oh, okay.
I think it's honestly perfectly fine that he clears top to bot. Yes, I like that. I like that. Why no commit?
Minion whiff.
I reckon you. I
Our
think that was
junglers.
still winning.
You think so? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you scroll
All right.
back a little bit, I think you could have forced at least his flash out there, considering he didn't
No,
have
you're
root
absolutely right. Yeah,
and he
he
was
threw out
pretty out of
root.
position.
Yeah. I can commit. I just feel like like even looking at it now, the
Mm-hmm.
minion wave eats me out. The minion wave chews me out. Yeah, I kind of walked forward to as much as I felt comfortable, especially with Trendle being behind me. I guess that's on me though. I should walk forward and commit.
So I think I still. No, never mind. No, man.
I'm just thinking about resources going into it, and still, Ezreal level 2 is not that strong, even
Mm-hmm.
compared to Ezreal level 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely probably should have committed there. Though with my jungler being bot side, I don't believe I lose as much. I lose the fact that he could have earned flash.
Either or.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure I'm ready for the level 2 gank, or not the level 2 gank, the gank that's gonna happen.
Okay. I'm excited for it.
So
This better be a kill.
yeah. Oh yeah, like
I
like
like
we have
that
a
Karl is
massive
pulling the
freezing.
wave here. Yes. Good stuff.
So even like in this scenario, like Swain cannot walk up, and I guess I valued the damage over like burning flash, or like potentially burning flash and taking damage myself.
Right.
So
Okay. So you can. I want you to see how aggressive Karl is positioning and kind of
And I
matching that
thought,
as well.
yeah,
He's gonna E and probably flash after as well. Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Good burn of summoner
yeah.
spells. Karl, I want to see you ping those. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's something I was saying earlier with the
Yeah.
I don't think timers enough, and that's
Yeah.
on me.
Perfect. And your jungler helps you push immediately back right here.
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect movement.
Sejuani doesn't get anything topside. She's
Oh,
playing safe.
I believe just the quick comms. I believe we down or how to playing. Oh, we kind of dominate lane pretty hard here. I think it's more so our decision around dragons that really lost us the game, but
Right.
more so like in terms of because I reviewed this game like too many times. I felt so garbage in this game. Not garbage. I just feel like it was game 3 in Clash. Like I actually felt just tired.
Mm.
There was a lot of like unforced errors I made, and yeah, this game itself just didn't feel good to me.
A bit of
So,
decision fatigue, maybe, over 3 games.
absolutely, yes. It's just like, yeah,
I got that last night. I was playing Thresh like 4 games. I think we had me and my buddy had like a 4 game win streak, and then just I lost 2 in a row, and I was like, bro, it's so bad. Too many games.
Yeah, absolutely.
um, just out of curiosity, because I'm looking at it now,
Yep.
I cleared most of the minions except for like these 4 to slow down their push, so they just can't insta clear with minions. Is that good to do?
Sorry, ask that again.
Oh, okay. So like how I approach this minion wave here.
Yep.
What was it? I'm looking at it now, and I kind of feel like I'm trolling by hitting the wave here. But I also realize, okay, I guess I'm not looking at the backline minions when I feel that way. Like the wave's kind of massive compared to ours, and I stopped hitting it here just to equalize the health a bit, and he's pushing.
One thing I always ask
Like,
when I talk to Karl about waves is what's your intention behind it? Why do you need to freeze? Why are you pushing? What on the map's telling you
oh,
to push or not to push?
so before these Clash games, I made it a very big point to not play unless not play around or not play aggressive when jungler's not on your side of the map or we don't know where the enemy jungler is. So at the time, we don't know where their enemy jungler is. He's
Mm-hmm.
probably I don't remember how he routed. I haven't really been paying attention or looking at it, but our jungler is on the top side of the map. We don't know where the enemy jungler is. Potentially bot side. It looks like his red spawning soon. So ideally, I play back around that knowledge. I mean, I look to freeze and not look for a fight early because I don't want to take the 2v3.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah,
Then you look for a freeze, you let them shove into you. They might go for the Drake, but then your jungler gets their topside jungle and potential top gank from that.
right. And especially since we're not looking to take Drakes at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, in this scenario, I'm just
So you can see how you can just see the change in aggression that they have towards the minion wave instantly. Like you can tell that
yeah.
they're pushing into you. So if you hold this freeze right here, that's perfect. Even better if the cannon was frozen. But
This turns into a slow
It's
push.
probably it's probably a slow push at this point.
okay.
I let the wave get a little too close to tower, and I kept hitting it.
You have what we call ADC syndrome. You see minion wave, you hit minion wave.
Yeah,
I'd be very careful
yeah. That's
walking up here. Sedge might be in second bush.
very
Okay, we
potential.
have we have no fear.
What can I say? Sweeper's a suggestion.
Yeah, so keep that kind of risk in mind, especially if they have a good CC chain, because if if none of you guys had flash there and she was hiding in second bush, then you guys would have been pretty dead.
True.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also needs something we talked to Azazel about is lane ganking effectively when we
Yeah.
have a push going.
Nice. I really like the aggressiveness from you there, Karl. The instant
Thank
you
you.
used it.
Fuck. And then
Oh
switch.
my goodness. I just remember being okay. I have heal and double pots up, and I don't think I burned either one. I was so mad about this. I remember trying to flash too, and I was just like fuming after this one. I'm like, wow. Or I had triple pots, even worse. Or yeah, I just remember being so angry here because I definitely like blundered. Like that death was unnecessary and on me. And like I made it a point after this game, burn health pots whenever I'm low on health.
sounds like
Fair.
Whenever
a very reasonable thing to do.
not even like burn health pot, like just use health pots whenever I take damage, more or less. If I reach like a certain health threshold, I just burn a health pot now. Versus using it in combat, I you more or less get the same value as long as you get the health. You probably get more value.
I'm willing to bet Karl has built a refillable in this game.
Did I? I don't think I did. I think I was prioritizing control words.
Oh, okay. I would definitely like to see refillable
Refillable
from
ones.
yeah. But it looks like they're not even poking you that much, which is good.
Yeah, it's either like an all in or I die. For the most part.
Which is for them. They shouldn't be trying to play an all in. They should be trying to play poke against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Because it keeps a convenient timeline here.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, lane seems relatively.
I mean, keep it a surprise for me. I don't want to see what's happened. I don't want a magic orb.
All right,
True.
fair.
Yeah.
I also have the speed up feature.
Yeah. So what I want to also know is where the jungler is on the map. How you're able to do that is just by tracking him, and that kind of falls down to you, Karl, because Moss has to focus on hitting
The
these
wave.
minions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Something I try.
anytime, sorry, go ahead.
No, something I try to make a note of too, positioning wise, is just moving back and forth. So I don't know when we're going to engage, but that's like,
Right.
or at least holding pillar for Ezreal. But
Yeah.
I don't think this actually works out too hard, does it? I
That's a
think
kill.
we kill Swain. No.
Oh no, I waited
Oh.
for it to get the kill, and I burned my heal though at least, and not my health pots. And again, I was angry. I was like, man, if I thought I would dodge the Ezra kill. I also didn't burn health pots, and I got
Set
the
was
kill
also
because of
bot
the
lane, which
battle.
is really unfortunate. I think this is where we like the game's turning in their favor.
In this specific moment, like our top laner called the TP out, we didn't hear it,
Hmm.
so we didn't know Set was bot lane to begin with.
Hmm.
So looking further into this one, was it Yon rotates first? It looks like our Seraphine follows soon after.
What did you flash, by the way?
Oh, I flashed the slow from Swain for aggressive positioning too. So I flashed there.
I saw you do that in the previous game as well. I can't remember it was a flash something else, but that's a
Yeah.
very. Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't like that habit because if you've already forced out 2 flashes for the enemy, using that in the next 5 minute window when it's down is a lot more tactical of you, as per se.
right.
Than trying to trade flashes and kind of try greed for this play, which have already may or may not be over.
Right. Dragonstone. Okay. Yeah, because I won't have flash for the next dragon fight, which I believe is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I hmm. And honestly, if I live there, I just think I die after anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which I mean, like if I had flash, I could walk out.
It does sound like the case.
And he died there.
Oh, unfortunate.
Ezreal
Yeah.
Q range.
Yeah. So I think the main takeaways from that fight is first, just be patient. If you guys get any sort of advantage, use that and let your support, let Karl time it and say, okay, they're down. So our next Drake fight, we focus on the Flash's targets with my engage.
Right. Something too our mid laners mentioned to us, like talking about it.
Yeah.
He wants us to, he especially wants me to call out my flashes before every exchange.
What do you
Just
mean?
because, again, like, well, like what my flash is looking like, or before every big fight, or just make sure my team is very clear so they know how to position around me, especially with like something that's really good at diving, like a Yone.
Okay.
If I don't have flash, I'm actually very vulnerable
Yeah.
to a like at least a like front to back Yone ult
Yeah.
based on my ranges. Um, what was it? So like if we have or if my team knows I don't have flash, they can play a bit more forward or at least zone out Yon a bit better so I can play forward and hit different targets versus when I have versus me with flash. So I don't know why I'm throwing that out. I just feel like, something to equate to.
Yeah, no,
Mention flash earlier.
absolutely. If you're able to take a stock of what you have before every fight, that's a really good skill to have because it allows you to say, okay, am I actually going to, or how am I gonna am I gonna position myself safer because I don't have flash? Is my team
Yeah,
going to need to actually peel or kind of be around me? You know?
correct. Um, yeah, for the most part, I try to keep track of my utility, especially with bigger like utility examples.
Yeah.
So
Perfect
yeah,
example here. No flash.
yeah,
You see what I mean? Karl just pillars him in the ass and goes, "You're mine."
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because we just saw Sedge top lane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fighting
that's
against
free.
Zergot.
And regardless, either we have our jungler right there, so
Yeah.
I hear I clear this. We look for dragon angle.
Where's Karl going?
I believe this was a throw. This is second dragon.
Yeah.
This is a mistake. I actually comm wise, then I'll turn on comms for this walking up.
Okay.
I remember my mid laner being reluctant to take this fight. Swain is up now. Oh, Swain's obviously up. He just used his ability. Yone's top side. Does Yone have TP in this game? Okay. There's no TP.
What I want to see here actually is I want you to see you ult bot lane, get the flash of Ezreal, and then take Drake fight before they
Yeah.
arrived bottom. So there was that small
Yeah.
window where you're able to do that, but that window is past right now.
Yeah, I don't mind that lull moment. I think that's the proper use of that. I don't know. The moment of nothing happening where I just insta clear and look to walk up.
Yeah.
Or like here, like after that moment where nothing happens, oh, I think we should just give up on the dragon angle. I think I was carrying that moment I had before. We just had okay, so this is game 3 again. So I feel like in my mind we still had control over River,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe this fight was called off, or at least my mid laner was calling it off and didn't want to take the angle, or he was asking to see if we could take the angle or not, and we just completely ignored it and still look for this fight. I don't think this angle is here though at all, not even a little bit.
Ah.
In hindsight, we have no control. Like we barely even have lane prio.
Yeah.
This is not a good fight to take. And also, like I mentioned before, Seraphina's not strong yet, and I think she's one of the more dominant champions when she does get strong.
When she gets her Leandries and just pokes you from
Yeah,
like 10,000 meters away.
yeah. So I think right now our best bet's to look for top side.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But even aside from set, there's really nothing top side even though we know for a fact he has no TP because he came bot lane earlier around the same time I flashed. So Yeah, I mean, like, I guess we troll because we look for this fight. Though in my eyes, I see a 4v4, and I'm pretty strong. Though I'm sitting on 1800 gold. That's a nerve, big area. This fight shouldn't have happened.
Good analysis. It looks like I'm not even needed
Yeah.
here.
Oh man,
You press
look,
the play button and he analyzes the VOD himself.
look, like I've broken this game down so many times. It's just like, ugh, I felt so bad.
It's like you guys should have won this, right?
I feel like if I backed, we might win this. But however, I didn't back. There's just so many things going against this fight happening. It looks like they lived by about 1800 gold worth of health.
Yep.
Yeah, but we get to kill topside. So
Solo kill. The solo
yeah.
bolo. Imagine if your jungler was scrubbing topside instead, and then now he's reset
Oh
for
god,
bot.
yeah. Like I think like we just called this the Exodia comp. Like we get therapy and Urgot, and I don't think we can lose. But at the same time, I shouldn't be throwing bot lane either,
That.
because I think that fight's a throw,
Yeah.
and I think it was between my jungler, my support, and myself.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? Thinking back at it, and I'm not trying to take all blame off myself. I'm not. I don't like to do that. However, I do think I was just blindly following calls, and I should have maybe pinged out my gold and said, "Hey, I'm not that strong. I'm sitting on a noon quiver. We don't take this fight."
Might be a good
Versus
show.
like looking at like Yon's build, he'd probably back before me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I probably should have called this fight off. My mid laner definitely called this fight off. Yeah, but aside from that, for the most part, like in terms of what to take away from this game, I think that was just a big blunder.
Yeah. I think it all still stems down to someone calling the shots.
I agree. No, I agree 100%. And I like even if somebody like regardless or not regardless, like I think calling if we had like one specific central shot caller, yeah, I think the problem is fixed there.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, even with the system we run, I just think that the person who called the fight off should have been heard
Okay.
a bit
Right.
better. So,
Karl.
like, I think,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah,
God
like,
dang
I
it.
think like our entire team should have just been like, no. But yeah, I do think a
Sure.
single like central shot caller would have fixed that issue there.
Anathema chain first item, even
Look,
before
man.
boots. Hmm.
Look,
First
man.
thing seen.
What's with
Sejuani,
that?
bro.
Sejuani does a lot of damage.
That's mostly it's mostly for the tenacity reduction.
Right. Right. Interesting. I've never even considered going anathemas first, so that's it.
I mean, I like people do it in pro play all the time and just put it on the enemy tank because I don't know, some tank junglers are a favorite in LCS for some reason.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people do it mostly for the tenacity reduction
That's
and the fact that I get a lot of tank stats off my ultimate.
that's actually pretty nifty for Trundle support. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, yeah.
Okay, so same thing here. Now you guys are running a little bit behind in gold. They have the first two drakes as well. How are you guys gonna stabilize? What's going on through your head?
Um, well, I got my back off. Let's see, I push here. I actually don't remember the game plan from this point on. I just remember being extremely fatigued at this point and making some really bad decisions, even going forward.
Right.
Like I
Okay.
said, this game felt bad just as an AD carry player.
Well, looking
Like
back
just
on it,
like the decisions I made. Yeah.
looking back on it right now with a fresh mind, what would you do?
In this case, 13 man 10 14. I'd like to. So something I've actually been thinking about is like lane assignments and how I would mix them up or when I want to mix them up. Ideally, well, Seraphine's not that strong of a side laner, or I don't know, she might be. I could be wrong. I can't imagine she would be a strong side laner. But ideally, I want to be mid here to soak up as much farm as possible. though I could be wrong in that. Aside from that, just keeping traditional lane assignments. There's not much to do here in this case. Nothing on the map. I guess right now I'm just looking to get as much gold as possible.
Sounds
There's like
good to
literally
me.
nothing on the map. Like even here, I think I go to do Gromp. No,
Okay. And
no, I know I clear. Yep.
Carl, what's going on through your head?
Mostly that I think that Ezreal is a little stronger than us just because he's been able to scale.
Right.
So I'm afraid of his poke. I'm afraid of getting engaged by Sven. I shouldn't be afraid. I can just all in them if I dodge the E and then we get a kill because Ashe has ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have realized too. I believe Bed showed mid. No, never mind. That was Vision Joe.
Something else I've been thinking about, Moss, is this isn't a gameplay thing, but more of a drafting thing. Is I should learn Seraphine in case we want to flex it bot lane. I don't know for what reason, but like us knowing the same champions, it would be really useful just in case we have a counterpick mid.
Yeah, I don't think it was gonna happen this game though.
Yeah.
The
I'm just
reason
saying
the
for
last pick
future.
was yeah. No, I think Ben was the last pick here.
Okay.
I don't think Seraphine's also that strong of a support either. And ideally, we do want to play. I mean, because ideally, like we're gonna give Ben the counter pick usually.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can also throw out like first pick Seraphine. I don't think there's much that counters that either.
Yeah.
Like, but I do think that like it's kind of hard to counter pick it if we draft correctly.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So I shouldn't put time into Seraphine.
I would talk to Ben about that ultimately.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
What do you think, Isaac? Do you think that Seraphine's a good support? I personally haven't looked enough into it. I was just thinking about flex picks.
I'll be honest, I don't think it fits your playstyle, Carl.
Fair enough.
You'll be bored out of your mind if you played Seraphine.
What? I go ooga booga too hard?
You go ooga booga and then you sing at the enemy for a bit. That's what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, that's funny. So something I've actually noticed playing with Karl, and this is something like I've talked to some people about.
What you said,
like,
hey, Moss.
It's a thing I said earlier. Like Karl, sometimes it feels like you hit a 10 and you're playing like really fast, and then sometimes you hit you hit that 0 really quickly.
Yeah.
Or it's like 0 to 100 and nothing in between. Yeah, where like it's kind of awkward to play around because I don't know what's happening, and like with like the lack of communication that follows it, it's like I almost have to snap or like get whiplash to keep up with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
Right.
And I'm not trying to say like that's something I feel like that I can also improve and also talk about how I want to trade.
Yeah.
As well. Because I feel like it's more so like us going with a game plan at the start of the game, or at least like how we want to take exchanges early, based around their 3 abilities or their 6 abilities and our 6 abilities, and just having a game plan for that. Like, for example, I mentioned like a Thresh and Caitlyn scenario. You land a hook, I follow up with Q, W,
for sure.
and those 2 abilities should always be up while your abilities are always up.
I think that part of the reason that I play like that is that my mentality is that the best form of counterplay is that they're dead. So
death is the best form of CC.
Yeah, exactly. See, they can't move if they're just looking at a gray screen. But like, I don't know, it's just like they don't expect you to just flip on a dime and engage on them like half the time. Like, I know that half the time I play Thresh, I look to kite back for like 2 steps, and if they follow me, I just flash fly hook.
Right.
So yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. You just got to communicate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Look. I get you. I hear you because, like, mix it up on them, but not on me. Sometimes I feel like I'm also getting hooked by that.
Yeah, I feel like I bait Moss a lot. That's definitely something I need to work on, is stop baiting my ADC into fights that I think I can take, because I know that I'm strong, but I don't know how strong my ADC is. And
Right.
that's just me not paying attention. It's not Moss not like telling me he's like hit a power spike, because I typically look to engage after Moss. Like typically on Jin, I know that after you have like 1.5 items, you can typically take a fight. Like you have a lethality component and possibly a Gale Force or an Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to take that fight on Jin.
I think a bit
Mhm.
of a
Yeah.
bit of a hint that you can always say, Karl,
Mhm.
is I'm looking.
Okay.
So that kind of just signals to your ADC, be ready.
Yeah.
So you don't like kind of surprise them going, I'm going in now. We're
Yeah.
going for a hook. So you say, I'm looking
Yeah.
for an Eon to Ez or an Eon to Swain right now. And then that just
Yeah, for
prepares,
sure.
because League is not, it's probably like 10% reaction, 90% anticipation. So if you're thinking of the thing that's going to happen, naturally you're going to be
Mhm.
more prepared to do it.
Gotcha.
And so if
That's
Moss
fair.
is aware of that, then that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
There's some examples in the last game we watched, but like there's times where you'll throw a pillar and I'm walking away.
Yeah,
Like
for
I'm
sure.
actively walking away.
Yeah.
Versus like where like I guess in that scenario too that I didn't play forward, or when I went for what was it? The one play we were talking about where Swain threw out E and I just didn't keep walking into him. That could have been a hesitation on my part in that scenario. I actually don't remember my mentality going into that one, but yeah, I'm gonna continue this game though.
Okay.
So ulti there.
And a little cheeky
I
pillar.
don't remember why.
Oh, another flash in.
Yeah.
And that's you the kill. Again, I think it's just greedy. But that might be my play style.
Honestly, I think it's a playstyle thing on me, and I know it's bad. Because when I've played on teams, I've mentioned before to my AD carry, hey, look, just don't do that. I'd rather have my AD carry with a flash and use it defensively than my AD carry get a kill because we flashed defensively or offensively.
Mm.
Another thing I think I need to communicate is which minions I'm looking to go for, because half the time when I like try, you're like, okay, Karl, you need to like last hit minions, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then like some of the minions that I try and go for are taken, and I don't communicate that. I'm just like,
Just ping him.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you don't need to say it out loud. And then if Moss didn't ping him, then he knows you're pinging him.
Yeah. And sometimes I spam ping and I run out of pings, and I'm like, damn, I don't have any to tell them which minions I want. I'm just like window shopping, and I'm like, man, you know, I could be last hitting these, but I'm
You
just gonna
could
get them
be.
Okay. So at the same time, Karl,
Yeah.
I'll try to establish a freeze, and you'll just kill me at half health.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a lot of minion health just wasted.
True. It's an issue.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm not here to call issues with you, Karl.
No, it's
You're
that's why we're here.
perfectly
Is we're
chill
coaching,
person.
and I need to know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, like it's happened with a lot of my support. Like you call Mr. Cow, you call out the was it the 80 carry mentality? It's the support mentality with me. It's the I have stacks, let me burn them. I'm like, no, my freeze.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
My freeze, it's gone. Like you just saw the minion at was it 1/3 health, and you just had to use your stack, didn't you?
I did. Look,
Completely
man.
fine minion wasn't getting attacked by anything, just auto
It
attacking
was
by minions.
asking me. It was literally looking at me in the face and asking me to take it.
Look, he was auto attacking the minion, but he was looking you in the eyes.
Sidetracked. Yeah.
It's okay.
One of the other things I want you to try experiment with, Karl. If you're melee into someone with a really good catch ability, minion demat, what it allows you to do is not only be safe to get your stacks, but also after you. Yes, exactly. Have we talked about that?
No, but I've been watching not Chovy. I've been watching some Core JJ VODs, and whenever he takes minion DMAT, he always spams them on waves when he's trying to go for like an objective or like just get his ADC back to his child, as he says, his baby, back to the fountain.
And then they are babies.
Perfect comparison, honestly.
Yeah.
So this botch dive where you guys try to kill the Ezreal was interesting.
I think it was kind of troll.
Yeah.
Oh god, like
we know Swain's coming back.
I don't think Swain's the issue.
It's just their whole team's missing. All right,
Well,
Sedge is
Swain's
top.
dead.
Sedge is top. Yone might be bot, but still,
Yeah.
if it goes bad, then you guys
So
lose a lot. If it goes well, then you guys get 1 kill, which isn't that much.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this being communicated that we're looking for a dive angle here. Just because at the same time that our Jinzhao goes and Karl's walking away.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's Minion that's doing it, but yeah, it's not communicated at all.
No.
But we do have teleport, and yeah, at this point, I just got to get what I can.
Okay, you get shut down.
Hey, Karl, hey man. Also, want to make the call up? That's not insane.
Oh, no way you guys get out.
Uh,
No
We
way.
get out, yeah. We get out. Oh, I bet he kills me. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, he kills me.
Wait, what happened to the blast? Wait, I just want to watch that again. Did you get blasted the wrong
He
way or
didn't let
what?
me get close. Yeah, he blast coned me back towards them, so I like.
No, you walked towards it. I swear you walked towards it.
I try and go and hit the blast cone, and I overclick.
Look, man, you don't got the attack speed he's got.
I don't. I never beat Xin Zhao to a blast. I should have just kept walk. Honestly, if he kept walking, I don't even think we need the blast cone because we know Yone has flash.
I don't know. I think blast coning into Dragon Pit was also kind of troll, but that's beside the point. I do think we just go straight up in a way.
Yeah.
Because we have Seraphine. We just go to her.
Yeah.
Mommy Seraphine is here.
I get set face planted into the wall. That was a nice touch.
You got suplexed.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I also possibly think that you could have based for shield though earlier, and that dive would have been okay. But that's.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, how much gold do I have going into this?
Well, you can afford it because it's only 600, and you're sitting on 1,300, and shield is just a huge spike for you.
So why am I still in lane with 900 gold? Because I agree with you. Because I have reasonings for things. It's just
Yeah.
I come to lane, so just outside. In this scenario, swinging, yeah, I don't know why I didn't back earlier. I guess it's just the lane assignments because we were talking about lane assignments when I first came back.
Probably just a bit of game fatigue.
That's something on me.
Maybe.
I should tell Azazel like, hey, Moss has enough gold for shield bow.
Yeah.
Like we should let him base.
No, that's definitely not for you to call my gold items or whatever.
But if you're not realizing it and you're game fatigued, I should also be like looking because I should be looking at how strong are you compared to the enemy ADC. Because I know how strong I am against Swain. Swain is useless. He doesn't have stopwatch and he's sitting on Lost Chapter. I have early Athimas on Sejuani. Like,
how much do biscuits sell for? Do you know?
it's 10 gold.
Is it 10 gold? Right, I'm
Yeah,
practically
so you
selling
have
on shield bow right now. So
yeah, but like selling D-Blade feels so bad for you.
no,
Man,
it
yes,
doesn't. Get that out of my inventory. I hate having D-Blade. In fact, I stopped running D-Blade a long time ago. I don't like that. I value it, and I think it's better for early trades, but I would rather go longsword triple pot. Just for like scaling into the game better.
Wait, why not longsword and refill?
I don't know. The multiple health pots, I guess, feels better for trading.
Yeah, but then you don't have to spend gold on a new refillable when you go back.
True.
I know that's something
Yeah,
me and Isaac have gone over like a bunch of times is just get refillable because it's just so cost efficient. You don't have to buy any more pots, and you just reset for 2 free pots. Like that's jungle reset feels so nice. It's just refillable every time. Because why wouldn't he go through pots?
So like I guess a lot of it too is, and it's not that like depending on the matchup, I would actually prefer to have more health pots. However, what I've been playing with Jhin, Ashe, and I guess maybe not Jhin, but Ashe and Bars, they have pretty good range. And I almost never burn health pots. In most cases, though, I am going through health pots.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something I like to get out of the way early.
I know
Well,
that.
not get out of the way early, but like I'd rather have the artificial health.
Yeah.
Do health pots.
It's fair.
because that is something I don't like missing out on. However, I mean, there's times where like even backing, it's part of my ritual just to get 4 health pots if I can. You know, look, man, there's nothing worse than coming into lane and seeing your opponent has 4 health pots, especially when you're talking about like a Swain Ezreal matchup.
They are
Yeah.
delaying their own power spike by 200 gold, though.
The health pots, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because if I go, was it
Longsword
longsword and
refillable.
the refillable, I have my
Your
what was it?
shield.
Yeah, shield bow.
Mhm.
And I also, man, something that like I kind of stopped looking at this game at this point. There's just so many errors in this game that it kind of bothers me. I guess it's not like playing with Seraphine,
Right.
but my route or my build route is also not good because I believe I looked to build Wits End this game. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna write 1322.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I started building Wits End, and again, that's a fatigue thing because I
Yeah.
don't think Wits End is
Fair.
the item this game.
Yeah. Probably like Phantom Dancer would be better. Phantom Dancer or
Um,
like something that builds better with IE.
yeah, they're definitely going the IE angle and not the on hit angle
Yeah.
for it. Either Hurricane or Phantom Dancer, or even just like I don't know, like other routes, probably like Borg. I don't know if Borg early is good or not.
Not against our team
Even
comp.
LDR, honestly, I think LDR this game gets a lot of value, a ton of
Yeah.
value actually,
I wouldn't build Bork just
especially if
because
you.
I'm not concerned about Sejuani's armor because I take 40% of it. That's why we picked this. Is that at least the Trundle pick? The reason we picked it is because of Set and
Oh
Sejuani.
yeah, so I think Bork would have been actually the best option. Not Bork. Excuse me. You said not to build Bork.
Yeah.
LDR. I think
Okay.
LDR. After Shield Bow would have been
Yeah.
clearly the best option with Sedge, Set, even Ezreal going Divine Thunder and
And Swain
Swain. I
because he
don't
has
know.
health. He has health
Yeah.
passive.
Yeah. Exactly. LDR would have just chewed through their team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's hindsight.
That's something actually I've noticed about a lot of people is that they don't build correct. Like it's almost astonishing. I think AD carry is such a powerful role this season, and I see nobody build correct.
Which is good because that allows you to innovate a bit more.
Free LP for me. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
How I've also something I've noticed is that my vision score is so piss poor pre 13 every time, and it's not like I haven't been wording. I know the longer a word sits there, the more vision I'll accrue. But like I don't care about the score itself. Well, I guess I do care a little bit, but like
Are you sure?
why is the words that I put down that last for like a longer period of time not getting me like a good score? Like, am I just wording poorly? Because I don't think that word over the wall into Krugs is bad, and I don't think that word like the hot dog bush next to river near our turret's bad.
Well, it's a bit of two things because the higher up you go, the more people ward, and the chance
Mhm.
that you clear their wards is also higher.
Mhm.
If you're comparing yourself to, I don't know, Core JJ when he's playing the early game, then you'll see that he's catching out wards left and right when he's using his sweeper.
Yeah.
The second part might be that you're not using your sweeper efficiently, as
Mhm.
in you see the enemy's place down vision, but then you might not have sweeper up because you used it earlier as you were walking through your own jungle.
Mhm.
Or it might be the reverse case where you walk past a ward that they place in your jungle and then you sweep the lane instead. So one of those
Yeah.
two kind of scenarios.
I definitely think I look for deep wards too much. That when they're just not there.
You should be able to see when they walk into your jungle. If that's a little
Well,
bit
no,
of a
no,
map
no,
awareness
like
thing.
lane deep wards for like TPs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't see when they're
Lane
putting
ward.
those down. Because if we leave lane and they put down a deep, like I just can't see that.
Yeah.
So I just reactively put down sweeper. I'm just like, okay, I'll have it in like what's this? It's like mid 30 early for
Um,
sweeper.
Something. I think it's a bit longer than that.
what's the value of that ward?
What
TB
the
flank.
TP flank ward?
TP flank. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
because half the
also
teams we
yeah.
play against always have TP top lane and they try and save it for bot.
Yeah. Because I mean, even for the dragon fight though, I guess it catches Ezreal. Like, I mean, the TP flank is definitely a valid point.
It also picks up any lane ganks as well if they roll in through that
Mhm.
angle off Krugs.
Sure. I mean, like for the dragon fight though.
Oh, for the Drake fight.
Yeah, I
Nothing
mean,
at the
because this is when
moment.
we throw at Drake, and I mean, Immortal is still up.
Would you say the rest of this
Yeah, 'cause
game is worth looking at?
um, let me see. There's a time, and I guess there's nothing in this game where I'm like, damn, that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think there's really much. Really, mostly it. Like I feel like, in terms of the VOD reviewing, I stop around the 15-minute mark or wherever I feel like
Okay.
between 1 minute and 15, where the biggest like game-changing moments happen. And if there's nothing happening before 1 and 15, I usually feel like, depending on what I'm playing, like it's a good game or bad game.
Okay.
Like
Do
if
you
I'm playing
guys
something like Lucian AD carry,
right? Do you guys want to
yeah.
go over one more or what?
I think that we've addressed
Um,
most of our issues at this point. I don't think any other game stands out as much as those two do. For us, at least, how bad those games were.
Yeah, sure.
But
Are you
yeah.
guys playing Clash again soon? Perhaps
Today,
tonight?
tonight,
Good.
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
maybe the
yeah,
key takeaways from me after watching those two is Karl, you basically have to communicate when you're ready to look for an
yeah,
engage to Moss and just say, yeah, I'm looking right here. And when you're actually trading itself, you have to be aware of your limits. So, for example,
yeah.
when we talked about the matchup, the level 1
Mhm.
to priority that you guys have and committing to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Moss, I don't want to see you flashing 4 kills.
Yeah.
If it means you have an advantage over them for the next 5 minutes, see if you can set up a gank from your jungler and say, let's focus the flash's target and make a play off bot lane.
I I'm not gonna make any promises, but I will say this: if I do flash forward, I will feel bad about it.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
That's typically how I notice my or improve my problems.
Okay.
Like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, too bad.
Good. For both of you, do you guys have 2 monitors, or are you able to like see?
I have one. I have one, but it's really wide.
I have to.
Okay. I want you guys to put those 2 targets on a sticky note, maybe for you, Karl, like on a piece of paper and like big text. For you, maybe put it on your other monitor, Moss, and put it in big text as well. So you're constantly reminded. You're constantly thinking of those 2 things when you're playing Clash tonight.
Gotcha.
All right, and that would be for me. What were they? Oh, don't flash forward. And was there anything else?
Just be ready for. Actually, sorry for you. I'd also like you to. So pay attention to when Karl is ready to engage or kind of positioning more aggressively to make a play. And the second thing was also when you're making or when you're choosing. Actually, sorry, this is for both of you. When you want to fight for an objective, consider A, are you guys actually off a good reset? Or B, is this actually a good fight to take? So maybe if I shorten that down to a phrase, it might be like, take stock. And that should like basically point out, is this a good fight to take? Is it not? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything
Yes.
else? I do have to go soon. Like, I don't know how long are we making this like session? Because we didn't really specify.
I'm still free for a bit if you wanted to spend some more time. However, you can leave it for the next session as well. You said in a week or so. I'm easy either way.
Well, like, you mean when you get a second, can you show me how to pull the wave?
Oh yes, I can do that right now.
If you guys want to do
Yeah, Karl,
that,
you don't have to stay for this.
okay. Like, it's not that I don't want to. I swear.
No worries. I'll stop the recording there and then.
Sounds